Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want you to ask yourself one question. What does it take to inspire others? See, inspiration isn't just about words, it's about action, about heart, about leading by example. Some of you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect words to inspire someone. But let me tell you something, the perfect moment is right now. The power to inspire is already inside you. It's in the way you show up, in the way you push through, in the way you refuse to quit when life knocks you down. So, tonight, we're gonna talk about how you can become the light that sparks change in others. How you can lead, motivate, and lift people up not just with your words, but with your grind, with your passion, with your life. If you want to inspire others, it starts with you. It's not about the words you say. It's about the life you live. People don't follow speeches. They follow actions. They don't listen to what you say as much as they watch what you do. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be someone who inspires others, you have to show up every single day with the mindset, the energy, and the discipline that you want others to have. You can't just tell people to be great. You have to show them what greatness looks like. You have to be the example of what is possible. A lot of people want to motivate others, but they haven't mastered the art of motivating themselves. You can't pour into someone else if your own cup is empty. You can't light a fire in others if your own flame is barely flickering. It has to start with you. You have to wake up every day with the hunger, the drive, the discipline to go after your dreams. You have to push yourself to higher standards before you can expect others to do the same. Inspiration isn't just about words, it's about presence, about energy, about the way you move through life. Think about the people who have inspired you the most. Were they just talkers? No, they were doers. They lived the message they preached. If they told you hard work pays off, it's because they worked hard. If they told you discipline is the key to success, it's because they lived with discipline. That's the difference between people who inspire and people who just talk. You don't follow someone because they have the best speeches. You follow them because they have proof. They've done it. They've put in the work. They've earned the right to be heard. You have to ask yourself, are you living in a way that makes people want to follow you? Are you showing up every single day as the best version of yourself? Because people are watching you even when you don't realize it. Someone is paying attention to how you handle setbacks, how you respond to challenges, how you push through obstacles. They are looking to see if you really live by the words you say. It's easy to talk about motivation when things are good, but what about when life gets tough? What about when you fail, when you struggle, when things don't go your way? That's when real inspiration happens. The world doesn't need more people us giving advice. The world needs people who embody the message. When people see you grinding when no one is watching, when they see you staying disciplined when it's hard, when they see you refusing to quit when everything is against you, that's when they get inspired. Because deep down, people don't just need words. They need proof that it's possible. They need to see someone who came from the same struggles, the same background, the same setbacks, and still made it. That's what inspires. That's what lights the fire in others. Most people will never believe in their own potential until they see someone like them succeed. Until they see someone who looks like them, who struggled like them, who failed like them, but kept going and made it. That's why leading by example is so powerful. You become living proof. You become the example that makes them say, If they can do it, I can do it too. So, the question is, how are you showing up? Are you just talking about success, or are you living it? Are you just saying people should work hard, or are you outworking everyone? Are you just saying people should never give up, or are you showing them what resilience looks like? If you want to inspire people, if you want to change lives, it starts with you. It starts with your habits, your mindset, your discipline, your commitment. People are looking for leaders, for role models, for someone to follow. And the ones they follow aren't the ones who just talk about success. They are the ones who embody it every single day, with every action, every decision, every moment. When you speak, people should feel something. Your words should not just go in one ear and out the other. They should hit people in the heart, in the soul, in the places they've buried their dreams and their potential. Too many people talk, but they don't move anybody. They say the right things, but there's no weight behind their words. They sound good, but they don't make an impact. And that's because they're missing something. They're missing passion. They're missing purpose. You can't inspire people if you're not speaking from a place of truth. People can tell when you're saying things because they sound good. They know when you're just repeating what you've heard. When you're saying what you think they want to hear. But when you speak from experience, when you speak from struggle, when you speak from the depths of your soul, people don't just hear you, they feel you. They believe you because they know you've lived it. They know you're not just talking about success, you've fought for it. You've sacrificed for it. You've bled for it. And that's the kind of voice that moves people. The reason why some people can inspire thousands, even millions, with just their words is because they aren't just speaking, they are pouring their entire spirit into what they say. They believe in every single word that comes out of their mouth. They don't just say hard work is necessary, they've worked harder than anyone. They don't just say discipline is key, they've lived with discipline every single day. Their words come with power because they come from truth. And when you have truth, when you have passion, when you have real experience backing up your words, you don't have to force people to listen. They lean in because they can't help it. They get drawn into your energy, your intensity, your fire, and that's what inspiration is. It's not just about making people think, it's about making them feel. It's about lighting something up inside them that they didn't even know was there. It's about shaking them out of their comfort zone, making them see that they are capable of more than they've ever believed. Too many people are soft when they speak. They hold back. They hesitate. They say what's safe instead of what's real. And because of that, their words don't have impact. They don't stir anything inside the people they are trying to reach. If you want to inspire others, you have to be willing to speak your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's raw, even when it's not what people want to hear. Because real inspiration doesn't come from making people feel good, it comes from making them wake up. It comes from making them uncomfortable with where they are, so they are forced to move, to change, to grow. You have to ask yourself, do you just want to sound good, or do you want to change lives? Because if you just want to sound good, you'll focus on the perfect words, the perfect delivery, the perfect structure. But if you want to change lives, you'll focus on speaking from your soul. You'll focus on making sure that every word you say carries meaning, that every word you say is meant to ignite something inside the people listening. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having the most polished speech. It's about being real. It's about having a message that comes from a place of deep conviction. When you have that, people will listen even if your words aren't perfect. They will listen. Even if your voice shakes, they will listen even if you don't have all the right phrases. Because passion is contagious. Passion is what moves people. Passion is what makes the difference between someone who gives a speech and someone who sparks a movement. When you step in front of people to speak, you need to bring everything you've got. You need to bring your heart, your struggle, your victories, your failures, everything, because that's what people connect with. Not fake motivation, not rehearsed lines, but realness. Realness is what makes people believe. Realness is what makes people act. And that's what inspiration is all about. Most people don't believe they can achieve greatness because they've never seen anyone like them do it. They've been surrounded by limits their whole life, people telling them what they can and cannot do, a society that tells them to be realistic, a world that makes them feel like their dreams are too big. They've never seen proof that someone from their background, their neighborhood, their struggles, their setbacks, can rise above it all and make something extraordinary happen, and that's where you come in. You are the proof. You are the example. You are the person who can show them that what seems impossible is actually within reach. When people see you breaking barriers, when they see you pushing past what others told you was possible, when they see you refuse to accept limitations, they start to believe in something bigger for themselves. Because inspiration isn't just about words, it's about showing people what's possible. It's about making them see a new reality they never considered before. It's about helping them break out of the small box they've been trapped in and realize that they can build something greater for their own life. Think about all the people who have inspired the world. They weren't just speakers. They weren't just motivators. They were living examples of possibility. They were people who came from nothing, who were counted out, who were told they would never make it, but they refused to accept that. They went after their dreams anyway. They fought. They sacrificed. They endured. And they created a life that people once told them they could never have. And because they did it, millions of others now believe they can too. You have to ask yourself, what kind of example are you setting? Are you just telling people they can be great? Or are you showing them through your own life? Are you proving with your actions, your discipline, your sacrifices, that success is possible? Because words alone won't change lives. People need to see it. They need to witness someone who looks like them, who struggled like them, who went through the same storms they are facing, rise above it all and create something incredible. And that means you have to be willing to step up. You have to be willing to go all in on your own journey so that others can see what's possible. You have to be willing to put in the work, to make the sacrifices, to stay disciplined even when no one is watching. Because even if you don't realize it, someone is paying attention. Someone is watching the way you move, the way you grind, the way you keep going even when it's hard. Someone is looking at you right now and trying to decide if success is really possible for them. And the way you show up every single day is either giving them hope or confirming their doubts. People need more than motivation, they need models. They need to see someone who actually did it. They need to know that they don't have to be born into privilege, that they don't have to be lucky, that they don't have to be chosen. They need to see that hard work, resilience, and commitment can take them further than they ever imagined. They need to see that greatness is not reserved for the special few, but for those who are willing to fight for it. You have to be the one who shows them. You have to be the one who proves it. You have to be the one who makes them look at their own life and say, If they can do it, so can I, because that's how real inspiration works. It's not about making people feel good for a few minutes. It's about shifting their mindset forever. It's about making them believe in something they never thought was possible. It's about showing them that the only limits that exist are the ones they choose to accept. Most people are trapped in their comfort zones, living far below their potential, not because they lack talent or ability, but because no one has ever pushed them beyond what they thought was possible. They have been told to settle, to play it safe, to take the easy route, and because of that, they've never experienced what they are truly capable of. If you want to inspire others, if you want to truly change lives, you can't just make people feel good. You have to push them past their limits. You have to challenge them, demand more from them, and hold them to a higher standard than they hold themselves. Inspiration isn't about making people comfortable. It's not about telling them what they want to hear. It's about telling them what they need to hear. It's about shaking them out of their excuses, making them see that they have been selling themselves short, and forcing them to confront the fact that they have more inside them than they have ever allowed themselves to believe. The problem is, most people will never push themselves. Most people will never demand more from themselves unless someone else shows them that they can do more. That's why the best mentors, the best leaders, the best coaches, the best motivators are the ones who refuse to let people settle. They see the potential in others long before those people see it in themselves. They know what's possible, and they push, they challenge, they demand, until the person they are leading steps up and becomes who they were always meant to be. People don't always like being pushed. At first, they resist, they get defensive, they make excuses, but deep down, they know they need it. They know that staying comfortable means staying stuck. They know that if they don't break through their limits, they will live their whole life wondering what they could have been. And that's why real inspiration isn't about being liked, it's about getting results. It's about making people see what they are really capable of, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's painful, even when it means they have to let go of everything they thought was possible and step into a new version of themselves. Think about the times in your life when you grew the most. It wasn't when things were easy. It wasn't when you were relaxed and comfortable. It was when you were stretched beyond what you thought you could handle. It was when someone demanded more from you, when someone refused to let you stay average, when someone forced you to confront your excuses and step up. That's what real inspiration is. It's not about making people feel good for a moment. It's about creating a permanent shift in how they see themselves and what they believe they can do. If you want to inspire others, you have to be willing to challenge them. You have to call them out when they are making excuses. You have to demand more from them than they think they have to give. You have to be relentless in making them see their potential, even when they doubt it, even when they resist, even when they want to quit, because the truth is, most people never come close to reaching their true capacity. They stop at 40%, 50%, maybe 60% of what they are actually capable of. They get tired. They get uncomfortable, and they stop. But they don't realize that if they just pushed a little further, if they just went beyond what their mind was telling them was possible, they would break into an entirely new level of strength, power, and success. You have to be the person who pushes them to that next level. You have to be the person who refuses to let them quit on themselves. You have to be the person who sees their greatness even when they don't, because one day, when they finally reach that breakthrough, When they finally step into their full potential, they will look back and realize that the person who challenged them, the person who pushed them, the person who refused to let them settle, was the person who changed their life forever. When you inspire others, you don't just change their mindset, you change their future. You shift the course of their entire life, not just in that moment, but in a way that creates lasting transformation. The true measure of inspiration is not how people feel when they hear your words, but what they do with their life after they walk away. Do they take action? Do they break free from their old patterns? Do they finally step into their greatness? That's what real inspiration does. It doesn't just motivate, it moves people. It doesn't just create excitement, it creates change. Too many people think inspiration about hype, about making people feel good for a few minutes. But inspiration without action is nothing. It's wasted energy. It's like lighting a fire, but never using it to create something powerful. If you want to truly inspire others, you have to go beyond words. You have to give them something that lasts. You have to plant a seed inside them that continues to grow long after your words have faded. That seed is not just motivation, it's a shift in their identity. It's making them see themselves differently. It's making them believe they are capable of more than they ever thought possible. The biggest reason people stay stuck is because they don't see themselves as the type of person who can succeed. They might dream about it, they might hope for it, but deep down, they don't truly believe they have what it takes. They look at successful people and think, that's not me. I wasn't born with those talents. I don't have those opportunities. And because they don't see themselves as capable, they never take the action necessary to become that person. The greatest thing you can do to inspire someone is to shift that belief, to make them see that they are that person. That success is not something reserved for a chosen few. It's something anyone can create if they are willing to put in the work. But that shift doesn't come from just hearing the right words. It comes from feeling something so deeply that they can no longer go back to who they were before. It comes from breaking through years of self-doubt, years of limiting beliefs, years of playing small. It comes from experiencing a moment so powerful that they can no longer deny their own potential. And that's the kind of inspiration that changes lives. Not just for a day, not just for a week, but forever. You have to make people uncomfortable with where they are. You have to make them see that if they don't change, if they don't take action, if they don't push themselves beyond their fears, they will stay in the same place for the rest of their lives. You have to help them realize that they are one decision away from an entirely different future. That the life they want is not as far away as they think. It's just on the other side of fear, on the other side of doubt, on the other side of taking that first step. Most people are waiting for permission to go after their dreams. They are waiting for someone to tell them that they are good enough, that they are capable, that they have what it takes. Be that person. Be the one who tells them they don't need anyone's permission. They don't need to wait until they feel ready. They don't need to have it all figured out. They just need to start. They just need to take that first step and trust that they will figure it out along the way. People remember the moments that change them. They remember the people who make them see themselves differently. They remember the words that shook them awake, that made them believe in something greater, that made them take action when they were too afraid to move. That's what true inspiration is. It's not just about the moment, it's about what happens after. It's about what people do when they walk away. It's about the decisions they make, the actions they take, the life they build because of what you gave them. And when you truly inspire someone, you don't just change one life, you create a ripple effect. Because the people you inspire will go on to inspire others. The fire you ignite in one person will spread, and before you know it, you won't have just changed one life, you will have changed the world.